Boxing is one of the best sports of all time, and it requires different training drills. But there are a lot of people who don't have access to a boxing gym or just want to train at home if their gym is closed. This video covers all boxing training drills and methods you can do from home, and it covers more than the previous guide I made. We will break it down to a few parts so it will be easier to understand. The first part is stamina. To improve stamina, you should incorporate road work and sprints. Doing road work is one of the most common ways of training used by every professional boxer. Running can also improve your breathing and lung function, which is important for boxing. The good thing is that you can do it anywhere without equipment. Your main goal should be to run more miles each time and keep pushing yourself even when you are tired, so your body adapts to higher intensity. Aim to run about 2 to 3 times a week. Sprints are also effective since you will be doing a high-intensity task for a short time. At last, the best way to improve stamina is interval training. Interval training is doing a very high-intensity task for a short period in between your training. A good example is throwing a 1-2 boxing combination on the heavy bag fast, without stopping even if you are tired. Sprints are also a great example. If you do these 3 things, you will develop better stamina, and it will give you a very good start for sparring if you decide to join a boxing gym later. The second part is your boxing stance and footwork. Your footwork and stance are the foundation of boxing. Before you get in a proper boxing stance, you should know if you are an orthodox or southpaw boxer. If your right hand is dominant, you are an orthodox boxer. If your left hand is dominant, you should be in a southpaw stance. To get in a proper boxing stance, you need to place your lead hand slightly in front of you to use the jab faster, and your rear hand next to your chin to protect your face. To get your stance perfect, just stick a tape or a rope to the floor, place both your legs to different sides of the tape, and make sure that both your feet are touching the tape, even if they are on different sides. After that, bend your knees slightly and relax. Do it till you feel comfortable, and don't stand straight and upright, or it will be easy to lose your balance if someone throws a punch while you are sparring or fighting. That is the easiest way to get your stance right. Okay, let's move on to footwork. You should learn how to move front, back, and sideways well, without making mistakes like crossing your legs. It is quite easy, but after that, you need to learn how to pivot and change directions. Once you get done with all that, you should practice going in and out fast on your toes. Additionally, once you get good at that, which will take you a few weeks of training, you can start practicing ladder drills since they can make you light on your feet and make your footwork faster. It also improves stamina and strengthens your calves, which are important for boxing. The last tip is to stay light on your feet and learn how to move around quickly. If you do these training drills, you will get way better. The second part is defense and head movement. So for this, you should get a mirror so you can check out your form while training. Let me break down defense into 3 simple things and cover them. The first one is head movement. To improve head movement, you should use a slip line or a slip bag. If you don't have a slip line, you can use boxing wraps or a rope and tie it across a room. Place a mirror in front of you and use your head movement to slip and roll and throw basic boxing combinations while using the slip line. Make sure that you have a good stance and guard. A good combination is roll pivot and then a jab cross hook. To make a slip bag, you can use a rope and add something inside a piece of cloth and place it on your ceiling. But instead of going through all that, you can just buy a slip bag for under $20. To use it, you need to punch it, and when it comes back, slip and move to the other side using your footwork and repeat it till you get good at it. I will make a 2-minute tutorial on it in another video. After that, you need to learn how to block punches, which is quite easy, but if you want to get really good at it, you need to have a friend with you who can help you out. Anyways, I will explain it quickly, even though joining a boxing gym can be more beneficial for this. To block a hook, you need to place your hands similar to picking up a call and make sure that your hands are placed well to protect the side of your face. To block a jab or a cross, you should use your hand to stop it by placing it in front of you, or you can parry it by using your hand. That can only be learned if you have a buddy with you, and for an uppercut, you need to crouch down slightly and place your hands close to each other. Learning how to parry punches is an important skill since you can open up your opponent so you can hit them with a counter punch. At last, it is footwork. You should just learn how to close in and fall back without losing your balance. I already explained it, so let's move on. The next thing you can do is shadow boxing and improve your punching form. Shadow boxing is the best way to improve your form and technique, especially if you don't have equipment. Before you start boxing, you need to learn how to throw a punch with good form. I will keep it simple. I've trained for many years and realized that the only things that matter for your punch is good form, leg and hip rotation, and extending your arms completely. Just get in a boxing stance, pivot your legs, and rotate your hips slightly while throwing punches. Don't forget to extend your arms completely. Record yourself while doing it and make sure it looks perfect. For throwing a lead hook, pivot your lead foot and use your rear foot for the other hand. One mistake a lot of people make, and I see it way too often, is pivoting your legs while throwing a jab. It is completely pointless. To throw an uppercut, you need to go down slightly and come up with a powerful uppercut while pivoting your legs slightly. Don't stand straight while throwing an uppercut, or it won't be strong enough. If you have watched it so far, I recommend most people to go to a boxing gym, even if it is for 2 or 3 months if you can, because your coach can give you a good idea of the mistakes you are making, and he can help you correct it. Once you get a good idea of boxing, you can quit, and it will prevent common mistakes. Once you know how to punch properly, you should start throwing boxing combinations and using footwork to move around. A very common and a basic combination is jab, cross hook, slip, and uppercut. It is good for most beginners and works well to perfect your form and technique. You can also add some light weights while shadow boxing if you want to build speed quickly. You can feel an instant difference in your speed after using light weights, and it is used by most professional boxers these days. If you have resistance bands, that can work good too. Try shadow boxing in front of a mirror and focus on everything, including your head movement, since it is the best way to train if you are at home. Make sure to use your footwork and defense because it is often neglected by many people when they are shadow boxing. Another thing you can do at home is bag work. Most of the things I mentioned are not very hard to do, and it does not require exceptional skill and technique. I didn't include things like mitt work, partner drills, and sparring because you can't do it at home. Even if you do them, your form won't be good and it can be bad when you enter the ring in the future. If you can buy a heavy bag, you can practice boxing combinations and work on improving your form and technique. Strength and conditioning. Strength and conditioning is a great way to improve your performance because they can be beneficial for boxing. It can help you improve your punching power, and it can also help you to get in good shape. Most professional boxers incorporate strength training into their routine. You should be doing strength and conditioning 2 to 3 times a week if your goal is to get better at boxing while still building some muscle mass. The best split if you want to get better, the fastest is lifting 2 days and doing plyometrics training on the 3rd day. Plyometrics are a great way to build fast twitch muscle fibers and explosiveness, which can improve your boxing performance. It can also strengthen your shoulder, legs, and core, which are 3 of the most important muscles for boxing. Some common plyometric exercises are landmine press, jump squats, and ball slams. Ball slams might be the most beneficial one for combat sports. For strength training, you can do bench press pull-ups, bicep curl squats, and tricep dips with weights. If you don't have equipment, focus on push-ups with a backpack and bench dips. You can also do squats with a backpack on. I also recommend burpees since they target almost all your muscle groups except back. The main muscle you should focus on is legs and core. For core, you should do crunches, side crunches, and leg raises. You can also do Russian twists. You don't have to do a lot of exercises. Choose 1 or 2 from each and do them consistently to see results. But if I were to recommend the best core exercise, it would be decline crunches with light weights, since it can build muscle at the same time while training your core. The last thing you can do to get better at boxing from home is to gain knowledge about boxing and perfect your form for any drill you are doing. Your form is more important than your speed and reflexes for boxing, especially when you are training at home, because if you build a habit of punching with a bad form, it can get harder to change it. You also need to gain knowledge about boxing by watching fights or videos about boxing and different training drills. You can do most of these drills or methods without a boxing gym if you want to get ahead when you start out. You should also watch fights of professional boxers because you will start to pick up different things and tactics which you can use when you start sparring or competing in the future. The more you know, the better you will be. You can learn different things like when boxers use head movement or when they charge in towards your opponent. Once you do all these, you can get better at boxing from home. The thing that separates average boxers from world champions is consistency and experience, so you should keep training for a while. Let me summarize all this quickly. Start off your training by running, then start shadowboxing for a few minutes. You can incorporate weights to your training. Make sure that you get in good form. After that, focus on ladder drills and improving your footwork. Also focus on learning how to block punches. If you have a heavy bag, use it for at least 20 minutes a day and focus on improving your punching power and speed. At last, end your boxing session with strength and conditioning. A quick workout you can do is 3 sets of push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and crunches. You can also include sprints when you have extra time. If you have a jump rope, you can also do that as a warm-up for boxing, and it can also be good for your footwork if you can get good at it. Don't forget to prioritize rest recovery, nutrition, and good sleep. Give your body a good amount of time to recover so you can be at your prime when training. Alright, that is all you need in order to learn boxing at home.